Hello, everyone. This is Aubrey Weaver with Distributor Central. Thanks for joining us today for this edition of our Supplier Series co-branded webinar. Distributor Central is happy to bring you Devin Martin and Crystal D to show you how simple, easy, and fast it can be to sell with Crystal D. Before we get started, just 1 second. I wanted to tell them a little bit about the questions. As we get started, please notice the questions section on the GoToWebinar panel. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them there, and then we'll get to them either towards the end of the webinar or we'll follow up with you. And now I'm just going to pass it over to Devin. Go ahead.
All right, thanks so much, Aubrey. Welcome, everybody. I'm super happy to be here today. I'm looking forward to getting ready to see people back in person again, hopefully very soon. But I'll go ahead and dive right in. My name is Devin, and I'll introduce myself a little bit more formally here in just a second. But today what I'm going to be covering is why Crystal D is your ideal partner with our simple, easy, fast philosophy, our awesome new Encapsulate gallery, our customization processes, and I'm going to talk about some trends that we're seeing and how you can leverage those for more sales opportunities. Finally, I'm going to show you some of the free sales tools that we can offer you as well. A little bit about Crystal D. If you aren't familiar with us, we've been in business for 28 years. We're still owned by the same family, the Dahlgren family, and we're located in St. Paul, Minnesota. So all of our decorating is also done here in our plant in Minnesota. We have a few different warehouses in the local area, but all the decorating, all the shipping, everything is going to happen from our office here in St. Paul. We have over 22 different product galleries, and that translates to 1,500 different items. That's awards, gifts, and plaques to choose from. And our tagline is Home of the Wow Effect. So let me show you why. Again, like to introduce myself. I'm Devin. I'm our national and key accounts manager here at Crystal D. The reason why I want to tell you a little bit about my role and kind of how our internal service teams work is so that there's no confusion, you know exactly how easy it is to work with us. So I'm actually part of our business development team, which is like our outside sales team. I work with our buying groups and our national accounts. And if we ever get back to travel, then you're going to see me at shows and sales calls. But in the meantime, I'm kind of like our designated Zoom host. I prefer Zoom Queen, but we'll go with Zoom host. We have also our solutions specialist, and they're also on the pre-sale side. So what the solutions team does is they provide virtuals, quotes, and ideas to help you close your order. Once it becomes an actual order, then it moves to our customer service team. And our service teams are managed like they manage a specific geographical area. So otherwise I would show you pictures of all of our service teams, but it depends on where you live is how we determine who your solution specialist and your customer service rep is. Okay, so back to simple, easy, fast. We pride ourselves on our simple pricing, our easy ordering process, and our fast production times. I'm going to show you a couple of different examples here. Starting with our more wow for less. We have under offerings, again, 1,500 plus awards, gifts, and plaques, and 390 of those are exclusive designs, meaning that you can't find those outside of Crystal D. But I don't want you to think of us just really as that higher end supplier, because in fact, we have over 180 items that are under $75 retail. So that really is like a good price point for us. We have things, in fact, that are as low as $10 retail. So I'll show you a couple more ideas in our gift line and some of those other price points a little bit later on. We also have 6 different imprinting processes. We'll talk about those. And on our website, we have full access 24-hour order status. So that means if you have an order in-house, you'll always be able to tell where it is in the process at all times. So what's free? Why I like to highlight this is because this is something that truly sets us apart from other award suppliers. I spent some time myself as a distributor, so I understand like how scary it can be to sell an award, because there's all these ancillary fees, there's film charges, there's personalizations. It's never just the cost of the item plus the setup like it is with other promo products. So even though I've worked for award suppliers most of my career, my time as a distributor, I was afraid to sell awards, truly, because it seemed like there was always that gotcha fee. So Crystal D listened to their customers, and about 7 years ago, they did away with all of those charges. So almost all of our items are going to be free of setup charges, personalizations. We don't charge for art services. We have free virtuals. Those are available in about 48 hours. We don't charge for copy changes, film charges, all of those little gotcha fees, what I call them. Other notable free services is, first of all, our insert service. This is really important right now because, as I'm sure you know, we're drop shipping about 300 times more than we normally do. So when you're sending an award or a recognition piece to somebody's house and there maybe isn't going to be a formal recognition, a gala or event like we used to have, it's really a nice touch to include a personalized card or letter from the presenter to the recipient. And our thing is, as long as it fits inside of the master carton, we can include that at no charge. So you just send the item to us and then we can put it in with the carton and it ships directly to the recipient. So that is free. We don't charge for those master cartons. And we don't charge for using a third-party shipper number. So again, more of those little ancillary fees that just start to eat into your profit. And then I want to also point out our first to the industry no-fault claim guarantee. What that means is sometimes we don't like it, but sometimes it happens. An item could arrive broken or damaged. So what we do is we've eliminated the hassle factor. You don't have to file a claim. You don't have to place a new order with us. You don't have to ask your customer to dig through a box of busted crystal to try to take pictures. You don't have to ask them to hold on to that packaging material and wait for UPS or FedEx to come out and inspect it. All you do is call us within 5 days of shipment. Let us know what happened, who's got broken. We're going to get a new award on the road within 24 hours, and there's no claims. There's nothing that you have to worry about. We completely cover the shipping on that second shipment, and we cover the cost of the item. So we want to, sometimes bad things happen, but we try to do whatever we can to help you and your customer recover and move on from there. Then our fast production time, we have 3 different service levels. So our first is just our standard production time. That's 6 to 8 business days. So relatively quick for an award, and good thing because a lot of customers do always forget about the award until the last minute. If they really need it a lot sooner than 6 to 8 business days, then we have 180 plus items, awards, gifts, plaques. Those are going to be in our quick ship gallery, and they will ship the day after the art approval. And then we also offer a standard rush service. So this is on those items that don't fall into the quick ship gallery and need to ship in 5 business days or less. Our rush service is just a flat rush charge of 20% or $36 net on the order, whichever one is greater. And to illustrate that super simple pricing model, all of our items are going to include the first imprinting process at no charge. That's included in the price of the award. So in this case, on this Indigo Butler, it's the 3D subsurface hot air balloons. Now, if we're going to add an additional imprinting process or to a different location, like for example, if we're going to add a deep etch to the base of this item, it incurs just a $7 net upcharge. Now, if we want to add a pop of color to this with our color fill, that would add another $7 net. So always think about the first imprinting process is included. Any additional processes, color fills, different locations, those are just going to have a $7 net upcharge. So this piece would be the regular price plus a $14 net upcharge for the 2 additional services being performed on this piece. Here is a glance at that quick ship gallery. Again, 180 plus awards, gifts, plaques, shipping the day after art approval, and there is no rush charge. They're also easy to locate within our website because you can just search for the quick ship gallery. So our distributor partners definitely benefit from some of these from some of these features because it takes the guesswork out of the whole process. The simple pricing provides confidence that you're going to be providing your customer with accurate pricing. And if you're a distributor like me that had a contracted margin, just one film charge could really make or break your profit on an order. Our service teams are here to help you with that entire process. So I talked a little bit about, what our business development team does and what our solution specialists do. So essentially what they do is they do all that ideation, they do all the creativity, they help you find the perfect item to wow your customer. Then they're going to provide you with a really fast quote, those gorgeous virtuals, and help make you look good because they will help you with spec samples or whatever it takes to help close that order. Since we don't charge any setups or film charges, personalizations on most of our items, then that's going to give you an opportunity to maximize your client's budget, or even better, maximize your margin. So simple, easy, fast to us equals increased profits for our distributor partners. The most common question that we hear at Crystal D, especially this time of year, is what's new? So in 2020, we launched over 200 new awards. And as you know, because 2020, we didn't get to show them to anybody. So they're still new to us and to most of our customers. But for 2021, we've really launched something that is really a unique and special new item. It's called the Encapsulate, and it's a first to the industry. Again, super unique, and I'm going to show you some awesome applications for this new collection. And as you see from the photo, what makes the Encapsulate so cool is that you can add any non-liquid substrate to a cylinder that's actually inside the crystal. So right now it's available in 2 different shapes. We have a rectangle and a square, and each shape is going to come in 3 different sizes. The minimum quantity on this piece is just 1, and the material that you see in the cylinders in the photographs is not included. Here is a closer look at that Courtney rectangle. So the next question that I get about Encapsulate always is, who fills this? The answer is you can, your customer can, or we can. So we have an unbranded video that shows really how easy it is. You just literally flip it over, pull the cap off. It comes with a funnel that has printed instructions on it. But if you choose to have us fill it, we really need to have a conversation ahead of time to find out about what it's being filled with. And this is really important because we need to maintain Prop 65 compliance. And of course, we don't want anything that's toxic or harmful for our memory makers to be handling. And we also want to make sure that it's something that wouldn't cause the cylinder to become scratched during shipping. There's one I'm going to show you that has ball bearings in it. So something like that wouldn't be a great idea to ship with it in the cylinder because it could cause scratching, and also it's going to increase the weight of that item pretty significantly. The crystal on the Encapsulate comes with our 3D subsurface. So that's your standard imprint. Remember, we can always add those additional services like our deep edge with a color fill, or our full color Alubichrome. And keep in mind that those services are just $7 net per location per piece. Also, I think I forgot to mention on the last slide, when we fill the cylinder here with supplied items that you guys send to us, that is also going to be subject to that $7 net service charge per piece. So what's included for the Courtney and the Curry? We actually did these together like as a complete kit, and I'll show you exactly what comes in that. So you have the actual piece of crystal with the cylinder bored into it. There is a crystal cap that has a silicone gasket on it. It's not watertight, so it does need to be a non-liquid substrate that goes inside there. It comes also with our lighted base, and as you can see that you have your choice of either the AC adapter or that wireless battery pack. They both come together with it. And everything is packaged in that nice black presentation box. Since the initial launch of the Courtney and the Curry, we also came out with a smaller version that we call the Condor rectangle. Again, these ones are available in 3 sizes, minimum of 1 quantity. And what they are is they're just a little bit smaller in size and price, actually. And they're going to include just the crystal piece, the cap and the funnel, and the presentation box, of course, but you can still get one of our lighted bases for the Condor, but it's going to be an additional purchase, and we do have bases available, so let us know if you need one for that. So what are some good applications and industries for the Encapsulate? Like who could you sell this to? So concentrating on some of the trends, some of the things that we're seeing this year and around us, groundbreaking ceremonies. So COVID's been preventing people from traveling and gathering, but if where you are located is anything like St. Paul, Minnesota, there's construction happening everywhere. The construction industry is booming between houses and commercial construction. I mean, our skyline is filled with cranes. It's still happening. How can you have that groundbreaking ceremony and include people that can't be there physically? So the Encapsulate is actually a perfect solution. You can live stream the event, and you collect some of the soil from the ceremony and add it to the Encapsulate. The 3D subsurface is actually perfect because you can include a photograph like you see on the slide, or you could do a 3D image of the building that's going to be built. The other one is deal toys and tombstones. So you don't have to be living under a rock to notice that this mergers and acquisitions, like we're seeing it all over in our industry. So it also is, true in corporate America. I think that this is a trend that's actually going to continue into the next year or so as well. So Encapsulate has ample image area so that you can capture all the information around a merger or a big financial transaction. And you can include a representation of the merger or the 2 companies in the cylinder. So this looks great on a bookshelf next to a collection of deal toys and really kind of a unique item. New product launches and sales achievements. So think about like what an eye-catching point of purchase display or sales tool this could be. No matter what the industry is, whether it's textile, agriculture, pharma, or medical, the components that are encased in this will become part of a timeless crystal display. To talk a little bit more about like point of purchase, the one with the t-shirt on it that you see there, you can add some fibers from like a new high performance fabric or a specific blend of cotton, and the artwork can indicate the features and the benefits of the new fabric. Another point of purchase option idea is for cannabis dispensaries. I've had a couple of distributors that have had really good luck selling this. Of course, it ships empty, and they can put the logo for the different brand of cannabis on the encapsulate, and then they fill it with what they call like either the strain of the week, and obviously it's different types of buds or leaves for marijuana dispensaries. So great idea there, and also sales achievement or retirement. So just think, if the industry can be represented by a component or a part and it's small enough, then Encapsulate is actually a perfect presentation piece. So next, agriculture. This one to us just kind of seemed most obvious. So seeds, rice, fertilizers, soybeans, corn, like what a great way to promote a seed vendor or a farmer contributing to his or her community. You can incorporate any 3D farm equipment. You can see we can capture that really great detail on the combine there. Otherwise, you can do like a 3D image of like a plant with the root system. I think that would be really cool too. We're seeing a lot of these selling right now in this area ahead of planting season in the Midwest, of course. And you know, farmers have been really hard at work despite COVID, which is good because we still need to eat. So they earned a little bit of recognition this year too. Then mining, milling, manufacturing. Again, just think about some of the materials that could be showcased in this unique item. And if you think of some of your customers and some of the things that they manufacture or do, I'm sure you can think of somebody that this would be a good fit for. So now I'm going to move into some of our customization options. This is one thing that really sets Crystal D apart from others. We have 6 different imprinting processes, and those really help our awards and gifts stand out. I'm going to start with our 3D subsurface. This is what you've been seeing on the Encapsulate, but I want to show you how it's done, and I have a video that I'm going to show you in just a second here that's going to explain all of it. You can see here that there is several different items that this process works for, and those are going to be at all different price points. And if you notice when you look at these pictures, these don't always look like traditional awards. So the subsurface really allows us to translate into more of a promo item as well. We'll have a couple of examples to show you in just a minute. But I'm going to start with this video, and what this is going to show you is why subsurface has become our fastest growing customization process for the last 3 years. And the reason for that is because it allows us to virtually replicate any kind of artwork that you want recreated. You'll see an example of that in the video, and you're going to see how we achieve this imprint. And how it's done is we use a laser and we make tiny fractures inside the crystal. So one of those little cubes could have over 100,000 different fractures in it, and that's what makes up the design in the piece. So when I show the video, there's 2 things that I want you to be watching for. The first is I want you to keep your eye on that green light. That's the laser, and you're going to be able to see how it starts to form that image inside of the crystal. And the second thing I want you to look at is how our memory makers handle this award throughout our production process, right down to that final white glove wipe off before it goes into the presentation box to ship out the door. So there you go. That's exactly how it's done. And now to show you an example of the difference between 2D and 3D, when the Oakley Indigo spins around here, you'll be able to see that the drone inside, that is produced with 3D subsurface, but the lettering, logos, etc., we can add some depth to those, but they're not actually done in 3D because you really need to have like an image from every single angle to do 3D, and the back of an A looks like the front of an A, to be honest with you. I want to share also a little case study around this. This is our Blenheim, and this was a kind of a cool project that we had an opportunity to participate in. In 2016, the Ryder Cup golf event was held here in the Twin Cities at Hazeltine Golf Club. So the statue there is called the Walking Man, the image that you see on the right-hand side. And that iconic statue is outside of Hazeltine Golf Club, and the artist that created it actually is a local Minnesota guy. So we were initially approached with, they wanted to create a souvenir of the Walking Man. So they initially wanted us to do casted crystal, like a molded crystal piece to exactly replicate him, which was totally in our wheelhouse. We could do that. We would need to use our overseas partners. So we were looking at 8 to 12 weeks for lead time. Repeat orders were going to be running about the same amount of time. And there was going to be some pretty initial startup costs to make the molds and actually able, to start the process of sculpting that crystal. So what we suggested instead was our Blenheim award. It's 12 inches. It's a nice substantial piece of crystal. But using our 3D subsurface, we were able to completely recreate the Walking Man inside of the crystal rather than as a casted crystal piece. This was, 1, no setup charge. 2, we were able to restock the event when they inevitably ran out of these pretty shortly into the Ryder Cup. And number 3, helped us avoid all of those setup charges and the long lead time. So you can see how cool it looks. Really was a great option. And we also were able to modify the art a little bit so that he wasn't standing on the rock anymore. He was actually positioned on that Ryder Cup logo, which was the globe that he's on top of. So kind of a fun project to be part of. Aside from the 3D subsurface, which is one of my favorite imprint processes, we do have some other imprint and customization capabilities. So I'm going to highlight those here for you now. So as you can see, we have one single award here, which is our regatta, and you can see how this award can take any of our customization capabilities. Starting with our deep etch, this of course is our bread and butter. This is what we are probably the best at. It is still our #1 selling category because it is timeless and it looks great on any piece of crystal. But we can also add some color with our translucent or opaque color fills. The only drawback with the color fill is that we can't do an exact PMS match, and we need to have a solid line of material between each color in the artwork. So that's where our Lumichrome comes in. This one shows our Lumichrome transparent or translucent. So it allows light to pass through it, so it's going to be a softer image. If you're looking for something that's more of like a true photographic image, then we would suggest our Lumichrome Opaque, which has like a patch on the back, which is actually really cool because then you can print back to back. So you could have separate messages on the back side of this piece, and one would show through the front of the crystal and one would be printed directly on the back. Then we have the option to do a Lumichrome as like more of a spot color. So if you have a logo that is a tight registration and you have a logo that we need to get closer on a PMS match, we're going to come much closer with the Lumichrome than we would with our smaller selection of translucent color fills. And then the last one, of course, is the deep edge with a color fill and that 3D subsurface. To take a closer look at another little case study here, this is where we've combined 3 different imprinting processes. So we have the deep etch on the front, that's that ExxonMobil logo. We have the 100th anniversary, which is done in subsurface 2D, that iconic bridge, which is in 3D, and then our full color Lumichrome on the back of it. I always like to share this one, especially last year and this year, because this is for an anniversary. So that's actually a really relevant selling idea for today. If you think about your customer base and you think about if any of them have had a milestone anniversary this year, they can't necessarily have the party, but something like the Chapin rectangle and at just $39.60 on an R, This is a very affordable little piece, and what a great way to commemorate an event. And P.S., this actually was an $80,000 order from a distributor that didn't think that this was a category that she could sell, but getting outside of the box and not thinking of our items as traditional awards all the time, that they can translate into a promo piece such as that ExxonMobil anniversary piece. Now to illustrate how those customizations can come together and really create a unique piece, I'm going to start with our Geneva Award here. And we're going to show you what happens when we add all 6 of those imprinting processes. So that first imprint there, the deep etch, remember that is the one that's included in the price of this award. The other services that I'm showing you are going to incur a $7 net upcharge each. So we start with the deep etch. Now we've added our translucent color fill. Then add some subsurface 3D image inside. That full color Alumachrome on the back. A 2-color Alumachrome on the front, again, because we need to get close on that PMS red color, and we've got a really tight registration there, so it wouldn't be a good candidate for that traditional liquid color fill like we've used on the Geoscape text above. Now, when I rotate this, you'll be able to see exactly how those 6 different imprinting processes come together to create truly a unique item. So I talked about a few things that we're seeing in our industry and around the country during this presentation so far, but I wanted to highlight something else that we're seeing. All around the world, organizations are struggling to keep their teams connected. This is really tough. Some are working from home, some are returning to the office. So how can an organization maintain their culture with everyone in different places? And how does this affect employee engagement and productivity? What boosts morale? And what helps promote productivity and even profitability for employees? Recognition. It doesn't even have to be something big or expensive either. Just a small gesture of appreciation can really go a long way. So here's a product suggestion with our Dentons. Again, I told you earlier that we do have some items that are really going to be in those lower price points. So Dentons, they do have a 25-piece minimum, but they're going to start at $15 retail. And what this is it's kind of a little crystal paperweight almost. You can see that they can stand up, and we use our 2D subsurface imprint on this. We can also do a full color imprint on these. So really a flexible, fun little item. And I like to say, you know, it's not a big investment, but it can really make a big impact for employees that are feeling this work from home separation. Another one of my really favorite gifts here is our crystal cell phone holder. This is going to be a great gift for Nurses Week that's coming up. I mean, who worked harder than nurses this year? And also, everybody has a cell phone. It's something that is functional. They would have it, they could use it at their desk at work, they can use it at home. I mean, there's just not anybody that doesn't have a cell phone within reach of them at almost all times. So this is a great suggestion. And just keep in mind that we do have all different types of gifts. We have a really nice collection, in fact, of themed gifts. And they come in a wide range of prices. So you can see different things there for teachers, realtors, some desktop items. So a lot of nice items, a lot of different price points that we feature for those gifts too. Okay, so far I covered our simple, easy, fast way of doing business, showed you that awesome new Encapsulate gallery. We talked about some of those customizations that we offer and some of the trends that we've been seeing. And now what I want to do is share some of these selling tools that we offer to our distributor partners. So we have a wide range of sales and marketing tools. We understand that distributors are actually our sales force, so we really want to make sure that you are educated and have the support, the information, and the selling tools that you need to promote this category, and in fact, to promote yourself as a source of recognition to your customers. So you can see there some of the information, like how do I sell awards, what kind of award programs are there out there, like what kind of awards do my customers do if they're a manufacturer or they're healthcare. So I have all kinds of information about the different types of awards that different organizations typically do so that you can start asking for that business. Again, remember, we've got those free virtuals. Those are ready in about 48 hours. And we can also help with sales support and advertising. We have a branded website, and this is like a private label website that you can use. And basically it's all of our awards, but you get to choose the margin. There's a couple different color schemes to choose from. So if that's something that's of interest to you, it takes us about 15 minutes to set that up. Of course, there's no cost and it's very easy. So just let me know. you can contact me on my email, which will show up on the last slide here, and I can get that set up for you with our marketing department. Of course, we have 3 different catalogs. They're available both print and digital. You can brand those too through Zoom Catalog. So there's the full line catalog, which is a monster at 356 pages. Then we have the smaller 3D subsurface catalog. So that's going to show just items that 3D subsurface would be applicable for. And then our galleries at a glance, which is more, shows some of the highlighted galleries and some of the features, trends for the year. We also offer product flyers. These can be emailed to you, or you can request them on a case-by-case basis. We do have customized flyers where you can advertise that you actually sell recognition. It's great for leave behind, e-blast. You can post it on your social media. Just let us know if you need those customized in any way. We'll be more than happy to help you with that. And then I also have this, which we call Crystal D University. So basically what this is it's a PDF. It's a really interactive PDF also. It's really cool because there's videos embedded in it, and it's over 20 pages of ideas and tools to help you increase your sales in this category. There's also some information on there about how to help your customers set up a recognition program. It talks a little bit about the metrics and some of the benefits about how you can increase your profitability, customer service, satisfaction, all the different components that come along with satisfied and recognized employees. So that is it for me. And I know Aubrey's got a few more things to talk about with us here, so I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and then if anybody has any questions or need for any of the materials that I spoke about today, just please feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much. I think that included a lot of great information that I wasn't aware of, and I've been in the industry for about 15 years, so I think that makes it a lot less intimidating to sell awards. What I'm going to do, I think you've covered most of the questions that I see here, so I think you had great information in there. And what I'll do is just kind of run through Distributor Central quickly for you guys. Some of you probably are already on DC, so won't need to go through anything in specific detail, but I'm actually on our Distributor Central homepage, and DC is completely free for distributors. And if you do not already have a Distributor Central account, you can easily sign up. You could go to the top here, go to distributors, and then under the distributor overview, just go ahead and hit get my free account. And then once we get your information, we can set you up with an account. And then when you log into your account, you'll be able to use these tools and sell some Crystal D awards. Just to show you a couple of examples of ways that you can pull up Crystal D awards and present them to your customers. I'm actually logged in as a distributor here today. If I just come over here at the top and just type in Crystal D as an example, not only will I see some products, but I also see view all products from Crystal D. So if I just click on that, it'll pull up all their products for me. Some of the ones that they cover today are here, and then you can take this information that is going to pull up and create specific product presentations for certain products for your customers, or you can create a full list of products. So maybe these are going to be your go-to awards moving forward. So you could come in here and you could say add to list and just add a few of these as an example. And then once you've completed that, you'll see down at the bottom that you have those products added to this list. I'd already created one, but these are the 3 that I've added to it. And then you can save the list. So I could just hit save as, and you could do awards. And then that list is in your account for you to come back to at any time. From here, I could create a quote from these 3 products. I could email those 3 products directly to my customer, and I can even add them to my website. With your Distributor Central account, you get free access to websites. And if I go up to the top here, I've created just an example of what a website might look like. Now, this one is targeted to awards, but you don't have to do it specifically for awards. It could just be on your regular website where you're featuring some of their products. So you'll see that here we have some featured products listed, and it's as simple as going into your website editor and selecting the item number, adding it, and then that product is now added to your website and you can feature it. I'm getting some questions here. Let me just look here. Nope, I think we covered. There were just some people mentioning some things. So yeah, so that's all we have today. What we will do is look over any questions that we might have missed and get back with you. I'll also be able to send you guys the recording after the presentation today, so you'll be able to take another look at that later on. Devin, do you have anything else you wanted to discuss?
No, I really appreciate seeing exactly how easy it is to find the Crystal D items on Distributor Central as well. So this is great. Let's work on some ideas together.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.